Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we are getting into our third tutorial for our FNAF games here on Scratch. And I just gotta say guys, thank you so much for all the support you've been showing me with these tutorials so far. I've gotten some positive feedback and I just appreciate that, because then that's just let me know that I'm doing the best I can just to help teach you guys make these games too. I know that a lot of you are curious and how I do it, and you just want to make your own games, and I'd be happy to tell you how I do that. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching these videos, and I'm glad to be helping you out. But with that out of the way, today we are going to be learning how to make door buttons. You know how in the original FNAF 1 they have door buttons, a light button and an actual door button that will allow you to close the door. We are going to be getting that. We are going to be getting to that today in this tutorial here. So as you can see, we already got our thing set up from last tutorials, and if you didn't see those, then I would urge you to watch those first before we watch those. But if you have watched those, then let's just hop right in. So we already got our stuff and whatnot, and we're just gonna hop right into this game right here. Looking pretty nice. Last episode we completed the office, and it's looking pretty bare, but I'm sure you guys' office looks way better. Anyways, so now that we got our office here and our doors right here, and last episode we went over that they had some animations that they can go up and down. Well, we are going to be creating some door and light buttons, so we can add some animations onto those doors, so we can make them close and open by pressing a button. So what you're going to want to do here is create a new sprite and call it left door button. We're going to start on the left side first and then make our way over to the right. So you're going to want to create this costume here, and it's going to be the door button. And you don't have to make your door button look exactly like mine. You can go ahead and add some colors to it and add different things and whatnot, add a different design. It is all up to you, but you're going to want to create a door costume or door button costume like this. And then this second costume here is to basically show us right here that when you press the button, the door is going to be closed, and that means that the door is being activated. This is what this button means right here. This happens in the original FNAF 1 as well. When you close the button, when you close the door, the button actually turns green. So it's pretty cool. But it's going to be pretty simple here. All you got to do is just duplicate the costume from your first one, and then of course make it a different color. But of course, it's always up to you guys what you want to do for your door buttons. You're just going to need a costume like this first. Now, for the code, we have our 4 trusty friends here. When I receive flag, hide, and then green flag, hide, and then night finished, and death. So these are the 4 scripts that you're going to be needing. And now there is a new script here that is going to allow us to see our door button and for our door button to kind of move along with our office. So let's work on this first few first. So you're going to need a when I receive night start script, a show script, a switch costume to off script, or whatever costume you have, just whatever costume that is the door open button costume, you're going to want that. So do that. And then if you haven't already, create a variable called left door state in the variables tab right here. Once you do that, you're going to set the left door state to open right here. You're going to put the word open right here in this bubble. Once you have this exact script, you're going to put it under this already existing script, and then you're going to want to make this button go at least 10 layers forward. So grab the script right here and then put it under there. Now you're going to want to grab a forever loop from the control tab and put it right here. And now you're going to want to grab a motion block from the motion tab. You're going to want to grab this block specifically right here. Once you do that, you're going to want to go to the operators tab and select an operator that has the plus sign on it. And don't worry about numbers, we will get to these pretty soon here. And then after you grab the plus one, you're going to want to grab a slash operator, this one right here. Make sure you have both of the correct operators that I am pointing to make this work. Now put this slash block inside here. The second hole to the plus operator. Don't have it be like this. This isn't what we want. We want this, just like this. And now we're going to go to sensing, and we're going to grab a mouse X bubble, and then we're going to drag that right in this empty spot right there. And there you go. So your script should look something like this. After you have your whole operator script, you're going to want to take this and put it in the X spot to your motion block right here. Right here. Leave the Y empty. There you go. Perfect. And now we're going to click on this, and there's our button. I'm not sure why it's so small. That's kind of weird. But if that ever happens to you guys, just put a set size to 100 block, and then put that in there as well. And then look at that. Now our button is following the office, or at least following the way we look, which is what we want. But what we don't want here is that this button isn't hiding when we look away from it. So we're going to get to that as well. We have a script right here, and we're going to grab a variable bubble, and it's going to be the Office X variable bubble right here. And then we're going to go to the operators and select an operator block that has the arrow pointing to the right, not the left one, to the right. Once you have both of these blocks, you are going to put it in an if then else block from the control tab. And then grab these blocks from the looks tab, show and hide. Put the hide in the else category and the show in the if then category. Then take this Office X bubble and put it in this first empty slot of the operator. And then now you're going to want to select a number that is going to kind of retain to your button here. It may take some playing around with, but once you find a good enough number, then just keep testing with that and just see if that works. But for me, of course, it's 187, so we're just going to put that in the forever loop right here. And would you look at that? Our button is hidden. That looks good now. That looks really good. So remember, you have to have your script look just like this, or at least something like that. Or, of course, if you don't want to have your office move either, if you just want to have it as a still office, you don't have to do this. You can kind of just like throw that out and whatnot. But we're making our office animated, so you're going to need a script like this. And then finally, once you have this script, put it in this block set right here. And now, would you look at that? The button is hiding as it should. That's good. Now, when it comes to the door receiving the signal of the button and being animated and whatnot, we need to make the door actually receive a signal when we press the button. So we're going to work on that. So let's go to the left door spread right here, and then we're going to grab two scripts right here, or two blocks, and to make it into a script, we're going to grab a when I receive night start, and then forever loop from the control tab. After that, we're going to want to create a new variable, and it's going to be called left door state. Once you created that new variable and took the bubble from the variables tab, we are going to grab a couple more blocks. So we grabbed an operator block, and it's going to be the one that is equal right here. It's going to be the equal one, and in the second bubble, we are going to put the word open. And then we are going to take this left door state bubble and put it in the operator script right there. And then we're going to take an if then else from the control section. And then we're going to grab a costume block from the look section and make sure that the door switches to its first costume, or at least a costume that it's open on, which this is right here. So true, good. So now it's going to switch to costume 1. And we're going to put this in the forever loop. And now we're going to basically duplicate this script right here. And we have this right here. But the only difference now that we have to change is instead of our open costume, we are going to go to our very last costume, or at least a costume that has the door closed. So right there, it's in the forever loop, so that's why you can't see it. But this is the closed costume to the door. That's good. And now in the second bubble, you're going to want to put closed. So let's have that right there. There you go. Now this next script is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to duplicate this block right here, the operator block, and then we are going to put it in the second bubble, closing. Once you do that, grab an if then else block from the control category, put it inside the if then else. Grab a costume block from the looks tab, and then whatever your second costume is from your first one. So basically this one right here. If you see your costume and it's like this, like it's just beginning to close, you're going to want to do that. And then once we have that, we're going to put that in the forever loop. And make sure too that you have your blocks stacking. So stacking here means that we have our script right here. We're going to put it in the else category. Same with this guy. He's going to go in the else category. Make sure that you have them in the else category and not somewhere like here, because that's just going to wreck the script. So have it here. It should be lined up just like this. And then we're going to grab two blocks right here. We're going to grab a next costume right here from the looks tab. And then we're going to go to the control tab and grab a repeat block. Now, here's the thing with this. How many costumes you have when it comes to your door, that's what you're going to want to put here. So, of course, we have 15 costumes for our door right here. So, because this guy already switches to costume 1, we're basically going to subtract that from the amount right there. So, and as you can see here, that wasn't fully enough. And that's because we're going to grab this script right here, and it's going to be the very last costume. So let's try that. Boom, right there. So you need the open costume and the closed costume, and however many costumes in between, and put that number in the repeat block, and then take a next costume and put that inside the repeat block. And this is looking pretty good now, so this is just fine. So once we have this script right here, we're going to put this where the closing script is. We're going to put it inside here. And of course, we also want to get rid of costume 1, actually. Sorry, that's my bad. Get rid of that. And then put this script inside the left door state closing script right here. And then now, at the end, we are going to grab another variable block and set this to left door state. Once you do that, in the second bubble, you're going to put closed. Oh, so once you have the script right here, you're going to put that right in there, right under this repeat command. And it's going to look pretty good. And this is just a sound block here. I already have the sounds and whatnot, but we will be getting to this in a later episode as well, so don't worry about it. So we're just going to kind of ignore that for now. So we are going to test this out. Let's see if I can kind of play around with this. So we got left door state, and then we got closing. Here, let's just try closing. Set left door state closing. That. There you go. Looks good. So, as you can see from the side right there, it's working. That's good. But of course, we already have the closing portion done with the door, but now we need the opening part. So basically, we're going to have the same thing as the script right here. But of course, you can also duplicate it as well if you hit the duplicate button. And if you duplicate it, then you're going to want to change the top part from closing to opening right here. And now, of course, once you have that done, we are going to switch costume. So we're going to grab a costume block right here from the looks tab. We're going to switch it to the second last costume of the closing sequence. So like right here, this door is fully closed. This is the second last part of the door closing. We are going to put that right there in this block. And then we're going to take another repeat block, but this time it's going to be more interesting. We are going to take another switch costume block and put it inside the repeat block, and then set it to how many numbers you have in between those costumes. We're going to put this inside of the left door state opening script, And then now this one's interesting. You're going to want to grab a a bubble that has costume number from the look section. Once you have that, we're going to go to the operator section and grab this minus operator, this one with the dash right there. And then you are going to take both the costume number and the minus operator and combine them. So put this in the first bubble, and then you're going to want to put -1 for this operator. Once you have this right here, put this inside the switch costume script like that. Make sure it looks like this, otherwise the sequence won't work. And then finally have it switch to your open costume. Once you do that, instead of having this closed like it says over here, we're going to set this block right here to open. And we're going to put that in the switch costume. We're going to put that under. And then finally, one more part of the script. As we're going to be getting to door lights as well, we are going to take an equals operator, and we are going to take a left door state bubble from the variable section. We're going to take this bubble, put it in the first spot of the equal operator, and then in the second bubble, set it to light on. Once you have this right here, grab an if then else block, and then we are going to put this operator inside the if then else block. And then, if you guys haven't already, last episode I'm pretty sure we made a light on costume as well, so that's going to be the light costume as well, the light on. So we're going to have the costume inside of here, this costume block. We're going to put it inside the if then else. We're going to have it switch to the costume that is light on. Once we have this full script, we're going to put this in the else section of the open script right here. And now make sure that this script looks exactly like mine. Once you have that, we are going to take this and then put it inside this else section of this bigger script. So look where it's going. It's going to go into this else section. Do not mistake it for this, but for here. Just like that. Looks good now. So this sequence right here is going to help us with our door opening and closing. So we already know what closing is like, so let's try opening and see what that's like. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Now our door is opening. That's really good. And now we are also going to set it to light on and see. Look at that. Now our door light is on. So this is really good here. So we are doing pretty well here. And of course we're also one last thing too before I forget. Make sure that when you have any sort of variable or operator if then else in the script, make sure that you always put a costume in there too. That was definitely my fault. I didn't do that. So right here, that's why the light on is still there. So make sure you have this and put that in there. There you go. So for any sort of opportunity for your door, make sure that you have the appropriate costume or appropriate costume sequence right here. But hey, this is good now. So now that our door has the completed animations, it is ready to receive signals from the button for it to close, open, and for the light on when our door light button is coming next. So now that we figured out the door mechanics and all that, we are going to head to our button sprite that we created earlier, and we are going to get a couple more blocks that we didn't have last time. Grab a when I receive broadcast script, a forever loop from the control center, or the control section I mean. Then grab an if then block, not the if then else. And then grab an and operator from the operator section. And then go to sensing and grab touching mouse pointer right here, and then mouse down right here. Take both of these as well as this and operator. Take the and operator, put it in the if then block. Take the touching mouse pointer and put both of these guys in the empty diamond spaces. Make sure it looks like this. And then once you're done with the script, put it in the forever loop. Now we are going to have a couple more operators right here. Like for instance, we have left door state closing and opening. Make sure that you grab 2 equal operators and 2 left door state bubbles from the variable section. Once you do that, put both of these bubbles in the first section of this operator, and then one should say closing and one should say opening. And just like this guy up here, we're going to take these two, put them in the bigger statement right here. So we're going to put both of these in the OR, and then attach it to the if then else, and then we are going to put it inside this if then script. Now we have this script right here. Grab an if then else block from the control section, then grab another equal operator from the operator section, and another left door bubble from the variable section. Put this bubble in the first section as always, and then put the word open in the second bubble. We are going to attach this script to the if then else block just like that, and then when it comes to our door button lighting up when it's closed, make sure to have this script right here when it switches to the on costume for when the door is closed. We're going to put that inside there, and then take a left door state block and make sure that you put in this bubble closing it. So once you finally have this block right here that says left door state to closing, put it in the if then else under the switch costume 2. Take this script, and then we are going to put it right there in the else section. Don't put it anywhere else, not here. And the reason why we want to put it in the else category is because while the door is closing or opening, if you accidentally click the button, it's not going to like mess up the door or something, because that would be hard for the door to close when it's already trying to open itself, so that's not going to work out. So make sure that when it comes to this closing and opening section that you leave this empty and put this needed script in the else category. Once you have the script completed, you're going to want to duplicate this script right here. Once you have it duplicated, you're going to basically do the opposite of what the script is doing. You're going to want to set this to closed, and make sure that this costume now is switching to the off costume when the door is open. And make sure that this variable block here says left door state to opening instead of closing. Once you have the script right here, you're going to want to put it in the else section right there. And now we should have our completed script right here. So let's go ahead and see if this works along with our door. Let's give it a click right here. Perfect. Just like that, our button is switching its costumes and is sending the signal to the door that it has to close or has to open. Looks really good. Awesome. So of course, make sure that your script looks like this, as well as this door script too. Make sure that you got all the steps down. If there's anything wrong with your process here, make sure to carefully look at your code, as this is kind of a lot to grasp and whatnot. It's a lot to take in, so just take it slowly. Make sure that you go over each step correctly. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comments as well. But now that we got our left door button figured out, it's time for the door light. Because in the original FNAF, of course, you gotta have a door light just to see what the heck is going on outside the door. So of course, create a new sprite and call it left door light button. It's kind of a mouthful name, but that's its primary function basically. And then we're gonna create a custom right here, and the reason why this one's white is because just like the buttons in FNAF 1 as well, they are also white. So make sure that you separate your door light as well as your door button with colors. Then again though, it's up to you. If you want to create whatever type of a door light button that you want, you go on ahead. But just like our door button, we're going to create another costume too, and make sure that this one switches to green so that it can basically tell a player that, okay, yeah, the door light's activated and it's good to go. So this one's for when it's on, this one's for when it's off. Now, of course, bring over our 4 trusty friends right here into this left door light script, or sprite, I mean. And then once we have all this together, we can get into some more code for the door light. So very similar to our left door button, we're going to want to grab, when I receive night start script, grab a forever loop from the control section, and then grab an operator, it's the AND one, and then grab the 2 sensing blocks, touching mouse pointer and mouse down. Put those 2 in the AND operator, put the operator in the if then, and put the if then in the forever loop, just like that. Now we're going to want to create this script here, and we'll go over it one step at a time. It's going to be left door state equals open, and this is going to be attached to an if then else block, so make sure to grab the if then else block, as well as an equal operator and a left door state variable bubble. And then in the second section, type the word open in there, and then take this script and connect it to this block. Next, we're going to take a variable block, and it's going to say left door state to light on. Once we have that, we're going to put this inside here, and then now we're going to grab a switch costume to block right there, and we're going to put it right there inside the open left door state open script. And then now we're going to take a wait until block, and then we are going to go to the operators, and then we're going to grab a not operator right here. Once we have that, we're going to go to sensing and grab a mouse down block right here. Then take this mouse down, put it inside the not, and then the not mouse down is going to go inside the wait until, and then the wait until not mouse down block is going to go inside this script right here. And the last thing that we have to do is make a new broadcast, and it's going to be called left door light on. Once we have that, we are going to put that right there. Great, now that we have this script, we can basically just duplicate it. So now that we have it duplicated, there are some things that we're going to want to change here. So in this first category, make sure that it says light on. And then in this block right here, make sure that it says open and not light on. So basically switch these two around. Once you do that, make sure that you have the switch costume to block from the look section, and have it switch to the costume that's off when the door is open. And then grab the same wait until not mouse down script, put that right there, and then we're going to create another new broadcast, and it's going to be called left door light off. This will differ from the left door light on broadcast, so make sure that you have both on and off broadcasts. Then take this script right here and put it in the else category of this, so it should look like this. Once you have this guy, you're going to put him in the if then block to create this massive script right here, and then we're going to click it, and we're going to see if this works as well. But of course we have to make sure that our light button actually shows up as well. It may work now, but really I don't see it. So make sure that our button shows up. We're going to have a when I receive night start, a show block from the look section, a switch costume to off block from the section, and go forward 10 layers from this section as well. Once we have all these blocks right here, we are going to add some more. Just like our left door button, we are basically going to also make it so that the left door light button is going to move just like the left door button is doing. So we're going to make sure that this light moves along with that button, and if you want, you can go to this script right here and literally take this and put that like inside the script as well. And then that's when you get that, you can click on that, make sure it works. For some reason that's still small, so we're going to set size 100. Good. And then we have all that. So look at that now. That looks great. That looks awesome. So now we have all of our completed things here. This is for when the button shows, the button's actions, and then our trusty friends. So now that we got all this, let's just try and test it out here. Looks good. And of course, too, our light, when it is on, it is going to make sure that it blocks the door as well. And this is because if it didn't block the door, then the door costume basically wouldn't show itself as being closed because it's already switching to the light on costume. But this is good. So you can only access the light when the door is fully open. But I feel like that's when you should only need it anyways. But then both our buttons work here really well now. But of course you can't have one side of buttons without having the other. So we're also going to get to work on the right side. So you can of course go ahead here and duplicate the left door button and make it right door button. And now there are going to be some key things that we have to change here. So when it comes to the right door button, we're going to have to make sure that we create a new variable, and it's going to be right door state. Good. Now that we have right door state right here, we're going to make sure that this block says that it sets it to open. And now when it comes to this forever loop, we are going to kind of switch things around here. So because this is on the right side, as you can see here, that's not like really working all that well because now it's where the left door button should be, and that's not good. So let's try switching this around. We're going to do 4, 10, and also a big thing about this too is to remember that when switching from to your right door button, the movement is going to be different when it comes to the left door button as well as the right door button. So what I mean by that is that we have to take away the negatives and make them positives. So before it was negative 410, now it's going to be positive 410. Let me get that set up. There we go. And now that this is positive, we need to make this negative. So as you can see, it's right there. It's kind of hidden strangely, so maybe we can try and play around with some other stuff too. Let's maybe try increasing this number, seeing if that will help. Oh, there you go. Look at that. That helps. But of course, as you can see here too, the button is strangely hiding when we move this way and not that way. So a solution to this is taking the Office X out of the operator, throwing this operator out the window, and then grabbing this operator where the arrow is pointing to the left this time. We're going to take this Office X, put it inside the first bubble of the operator, and then we are going to set whatever number that is for your button as well. And of course, if your office is different, then these numbers could very well be different too. So make sure that you kind of play around with these numbers too. But definitely keep that in mind that when it comes to the buttons moving around, this section right here for the left should be negative numbers, and it should be positive numbers for the right button. But then when it comes to this section right here, it has to be a negative number for the right door button and then a positive number for the left door button. So just like that, and it's going to be kind of swapped off too. As you can see there, the switches and changes and whatnot, that's negative and that's positive. Then that's positive and that's negative. So just keep that in mind. And don't forget about the operator change too from the door. The door button needs to have a different operator, so make sure that the arrow is pointing to the left. Now that we have that, let's see if that works. Good, that works now. As you can see, it's kind of showing when it's supposed to, and it looks weird too, so we're going to go to the costume editor. We're going to flip, and it looks good now, but we're also going to flip this text back so that it doesn't look weird. So let's check that out. There you go, that looks really good. Nice, guys. So do the same thing for the on costume and make sure to flip the door text as well, otherwise that's just going to look weird. Great, now that we have what we need right here. We're going to go through the rest of the sprite and make sure that everything that says left door state is actually going to be switched to right door state. Make sure that you do this. So just like this big script right here, we're going to make sure that we take the right door state bubble and put it inside the operators where the left door states used to be, and only do this for the right door state button. Of course, you want to make sure that you only do that for the appropriate button. And then for these blocks, make sure that they say right door state, and then there you go. Everything right here, yeah, looks good. Alright, nice. So that is also going to help us out as well. And then just like our left door, having an animation and having it tied into variables, so that it goes up and down, we're going to have the same thing with the right door. So go to the left door sprite and take this and put it inside the right door sprite right there. And just like what I said about before, when it comes to switching left door state in right door sprites, make sure that you take out the left door states from that duplicated script and make sure that you replace them with right door state in every category, as well as the variable blocks right here and not just the bubbles. And make sure to, of course, look over this costume carefully so you don't make any mistakes. But of course, now that we have this script together, we're going to go see if this works with our right door button. So now that we have this script that will be controlling the variable and the script that we need for the right door, let's go ahead and give it a try and see if it works. Good. And again, if this isn't working for you, make sure that you have everything that says right door state. Make sure you have that inside the script. Make sure that you look closely and carefully and make sure that there are no left door states in this script. That's pretty awesome now. It seems to be working just fine. Now that we have that together, we are going to, of course, create a right door light as well. So just go into this script right here and duplicate it. And then we are going to rename it to right door light button. Once we have that, just like what we did for the right door button, we're going to want to make sure that we switch this stuff around too. But we can just kind of take the lazy way out. Just get rid of this, go into this sprite, grab it, throw it right into the right door button, and then we'll take this, put it inside there, and then boom. Just like that, it's working a-okay. But of course we gotta switch this too, because this doesn't even look right. So let's try and change that Y. Let's try negative 65. Yeah, there you go. So if one of your buttons are ever overlapping, just make sure that you switch the Y of them as well, so that they're out of the way. But hey, that looks really good now. I like how that looks. And then, just like what we did for our right door button, we're going to make sure that we take everything that says left door state and throw it out. It serves no purpose to us anymore. Great, now that we have everything swapped out to right door state, we can of course just get rid of these left door broadcasts, and our script is looking pretty good here, so we're just going to click that, make sure that, yeah, everything looks good. So, of course, now with our other script as well, hopefully the right door will work. Yeah, there you go, just like that. Of course, though, it isn't working as planned, so we're going to see what's wrong. Oh, of course, that's my fault. Sorry about that. I forgot that when nothing is happening, you got to set it to the very first custom when it's off. So we're going to do that. Make sure that this works as well. And also, there's another mistake I did too. Look at that. There's a left door state remaining. Got to get that out of there. Right door state. There you go. Now that works wonderfully. Now that was a good example right there. Make sure that you don't have any left door states in any of your duplicated scripts. Make sure that you keep a close eye for that. But great, now that works. There you go. Good. Awesome. So now, of course, we're just going to take a quick look. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Yep, that's working really well. Awesome. Alright, looks good. Looks like we got our doors and lights prepared. This game is really starting to turn out into something, isn't it? But now, we got that done, so that's pretty dang awesome, guys. I am really glad that we finally finished this big step in our FNAF game right here. And this is a pretty big step here, because these doors are definitely gonna prove very useful, especially when we start adding animatronics into the game as well. But these door buttons as well as light buttons, they look really, really good right here. And it's going to be pretty awesome when we have to use them in the future. And of course, always remember too, if you are facing any trouble or any problems, make sure to carefully look over your scripts, as I made the mistake there too, that I accidentally left a left door stay script in my light that was meant for my right door, and that's why it wasn't working. So make sure that you carefully look over that stuff too. Make sure that you are carefully looking to make sure that each category of variable is in the correct sprite. And of course, if you are having any sort of trouble too, please feel free to ask me in the comments below or comment on any of my projects on Scratch for any sort of help. I would be happy and willing to help. But now, of course, with that out of the way, we are going to get to something a little bit more exciting as well. And that is going to be the animation for our camera screen when we flip it up. So we're going to go ahead and create a new sprite, and it's going to be called Camera Button. And we are going to design a camera button that looks similar to the one like in FNAF, where it's a rectangle and then it has like two slightly curved or slightly pointed arrows that are pointing down. And we're going to put this in the bottom portion of the vector. There you go. Now, as we can see here, the button isn't taking too much up of the screen, and it looks pretty good. And we're also going to create an up costume as well, so when you flip up the camera, it's going to switch the costume to show that it's flipped up. Now we're going to get into the actual code of the button. So of course have our 4 trusty friends here, but this one is going to be a little bit different. For the green flag, we're going to have a set size 100 block from the looks tab, then have wait 1 seconds block, put that right there, and then grab a forever loop from the control tab, and then go to the looks tab and grab a forever go to front layer and put that inside the forever loop. Great, now that we have all of these, we are going to start on this script right here. So grab a when I receive block right here, then grab a show block, and then we're going to create a new variable called camera state. So we're going to go ahead and create that new variable. And then we're going to set camera state to down. So make sure to have this block right here. And make sure to type down in the bubble. Attach that to the already existing script. And then go to the motion tab right here and make sure that you set the button to where you want it to be. Here. There you go. I think that's like the same. Yeah, it looks okay. And then we're going to have a switch costume to block from the looks tab, and make sure that you switch it to the costume when the camera is down, because that's how that's going to start out when the night starts first. And then set the ghost effect to 50. So go right here and then grab this block right here, have it go to ghost and type 50 in this bubble spot right here. And then the reason for this is because in a lot of the FNAF games, the buttons are kind of faded. So to kind of show you that they are there, but they don't take up too much of the screen when they're just solid objects. And then grab a show block from the looks tab and put this all in one script. So let's click on you and click on you. And then of course it was hiding, so that's my bad. But there we go. So now we have the camera button right here, and Now basically it is not moving around with the rest of the office, but that's okay. That's what we want, so we can kind of just access it whenever. So now it's not being covered by any other objects either, which is good. So now we are going to get into the actual functioning part of the button as well. We are going to grab 2 blocks from the control tab, and they are going to be forever and repeat until. Right there. Once we have these 2 blocks, we're going to put the repeat until in the forever part, and we're going to attach it to this. And then we are going to grab an if-then block, then a sensing block, and the touching mouse pointer block, and we are going to put that inside the if-then block like that. We're going to put that inside here, and then we're going to grab a wait until block, and we are going to grab a not operator after that. And then after we have these 2 blocks right here, we're going to go to the sensing and grab a touching mouse pointer once again and put that inside the not operator. And then take this, and then we're going to put it like right here. Now, just like what we did for our door buttons, this is what's going to go on with the camera as well. So we're going to grab an if then else block from the control tab, and we are going to grab 2 equals operator. Then we're going to grab 2 equal operators from the operators tab, and then grab 2 camera state bubbles from the variables tab, and then put both of them inside the first bubble of these equal operators, and make sure that one of them says opening and one of them says closing. Once we have both of these, make sure to grab an OR operator, and then take this one, put it inside the very first OR, and then take this one and put it inside the second OR. So you should have an operator looking like this. And then attach this to the if then else block. Then we are going to create a script like this, and it's going to be camera state equals down. So make sure to have an equals operator once again, put in the second space down, and then put another camera state bubble in the first slot right here. And then make sure that when we are activating the camera, that it switches to the up costume, so then it knows that the camera is up. And we're going to put this here, and then this here. And then we're going to create a new broadcast, and it's going to be called Cam Up. So once that's broadcasted, it'll basically tell another sprite to activate, and that other sprite we'll be getting into shortly. But for now, we're just going to make this broadcast right here. Put that in the if-then category, and then grab a coding block like this. And then we're going to make sure that it says set camera state to opening. And then put it in the if-then category right there. Then we are going to take this, and just like before with our door buttons, we don't want to put this in the opening closing category. Leave that empty. Instead, put it in the else category. And of course, just like before, you're going to want to duplicate this script, and then basically have everything be the opposite now. So now this is going to say up instead of down, this is going to say down instead of up, and this is going to be a new broadcast called Cam Down. And then this is going to say set camera state to closing instead of opening. But now, once we have this script, we're going to put it in the else category of our other script. And then now we should basically have everything that we need. And now we're going to take this script and watch carefully what I do with it. I'm going to put it right here. Oh, never mind, that was a mistake. And we are going to put it right there. So make sure that well, here. So make sure now that it looks like this. Great, so now that we got the script put together, we're going to put this right here and join it with our other script as well, and make sure that it looks like this too. You want to make sure that it's going to look like this, so then you also don't make any mistakes when trying to execute the action of this as well. make sure that the script turns out just like this, so you don't make any mistakes when it comes to activating the camera as well. And as you can see right there, it is also detecting when we are touching it too, so that's good. So we're just going to do that. There you go. And now this is only the first step, actually. This is our button. Next is going to come the monitor. And if you guys remember in the original FNAF games, when you flick the camera button, there's like this like iPad looking device, and it slowly comes up from the bottom of the screen, and then it covers your entire screen to kind of make it look like it's an animation of you looking or turning on an iPad or just looking into it. So that's what we're going to get to next as well. So now we're going to create a new sprite, and it's going to be called Camera. And then for the first costume of the camera, we're just going to have it blank, and just name it down if you want to as well. So we're just going to have this blank costume. And then, as you can see here, I already have a couple of camera screens as well for my game. And these were created already before. So it's not that hard actually to create a camera screen as well. If you guys want to access any of these assets, I can leave you a link in the description below so you can check out this project for yourself, and whatever assets you want to grab to help you start your game, you can definitely go ahead and do that as well. But now we have camera screens right here, and as you can see here, they're all at different angles too. This might be a little bit more of a complicated way, but one thing that I can definitely help you guys with too is that if you want to, you can do something like this. And we're here. Let's just make that show. So you can basically do something like this. You make this, and then you go to another costume, and then you make this a little higher and whatnot, and then you go to another costume, make that higher. So it's not going to look as cool, but it is still gonna kind of give you that natural look, because each costume is going to flip up, and basically it can cover your screen like an actual monitor if that's what you want as well. But if you want it at an angle and whatnot, you can definitely feel free to visit this project and take these camera screens for yourself. No problem with that. But now that we have our camera screen set up, we are going to make sure that we have an animation. So of course we have our 4 trusty friends right here, but just like last time, there's also going to be a difference in them. Green flag is going to hold a script that says forever go to front layer, so make sure that you grab these 2 blocks and put them right there. And then with the death script, we are going to grab a variables block and make sure that it says set camera state to down when it receives death. So once you have all 4 of these, then we can get onto the primary function of the monitor screen itself. So make sure to grab these 3 blocks, a night start broadcast, a show block, and a forever loop. Now you're going to want to grab these other couple of blocks as well, and there are going to be 2 if then else blocks from this tab right here, and then grab 2 operator blocks from operators, and then make sure that you grab 2 camera state bubbles from the variable section. Put these bubbles in the first slot as always, and then one of them should say down and one of them should say up. And then it's kind of the same story with these if then else's. Make sure you grab 2 switch costume scripts, put them both in the if then else, and then make sure that one says costume down and then costume up. So whatever your first costume was, and then whatever your last costume is as well. And then one thing too, for this barrier, I basically created this barrier so that this can act as an outline for the camera. So like camera screens, that's going to be something that we're going to be getting to later in the series. This is going to make sure that the camera, even if the camera screen is too small, then this barrier is going to make sure that we don't see any of the office while we are looking through the cameras, because even while we're looking through the cameras, the office still moves even though we can't see it. But we can see it if there's nothing to help block it. So that's what this is here for as well. So make sure you create a square-like object. Once you do, set that outline to a pretty thick outline, about 20. Make the barrier black, and then make sure that you disable fill right here. So an outlined square. But with that out of the way, now that we have these scripts right here, one that has the first costume and one has the last costume, we're going to take this, put it in the else category of this one, and put this in the forever loop. And then now we are going to create a new script, and this one's going to say camera state opening, and it's going to be an equals operator. And then we are going to grab an if then else from the control tab. Make sure that this switch costume to block is from the second costume, so like this one when it's just barely coming up, and then put that inside there, and then take this and put that inside there, and then just like our doors, grab a repeat block and then make sure that it's set to the number amount of costumes that are in between, and then put next costume into the repeat loop. Take this and put it in the opening section. Then grab the very last costume and put that right there, or at least the second to last costume, like right here. That looks good. And then now that we have this right here, we are going to make sure that our camera state is set to up when it's finally done. So then our two scripts right here know that the camera state is up once the animation is complete. And then we are going to pull out a broadcast block, and it's going to say camera up. This is going to be a new broadcast, so make sure that you create this one as well. And then we're going to put that in the variable part right there under the variable, and then grab a go to front layer as well as go forward 15 layers. Once you have these, you're going to put that right there, and then we have our completed script. Now we are going to duplicate that as well, and just like before, we are going to set everything to the opposite. So make sure that this says camera state closing instead of opening, and then make sure that you create a new broadcast called camera down. Once this camera is broadcasted, then we are going to get these blocks right here. Make sure that it's the second last costume, and then of course how many costumes in between as well. This is just set to 8 because now instead of it switching to the second costume, it's going to switch to the first costume. And then just like before, grab a switch costume to block, put that inside the repeat command, and then grab this costume number bubble, and then the minus or subtraction operator. Put those two together with this being in the first pocket and then a 1 being in the second pocket, and then put this script inside there, and then take this script and put it inside those and then put it inside the switch costume block, and then make sure that you have the first costume. I'm going to switch it to down, and then we are going to grab a variable block, and it's going to say set camera state to down. Now we have both of these, and they look pretty good. So we're going to take this one, of course, the one that says closing, and put it in the else category of opening. And make sure that you have all this correct too. Make sure that you have it all in the right order, because that's definitely what you want. But now that your scripts look like this, which is definitely a good thing, you're going to want to put this in the else category of here, and then that should work. So let's give it a click, and also give that a click, and then let's see if this works. Perfect, just like that. Awesome. So now this is really good, because then when we flick it, our script right here is kind of helping us out as well. When we do flick it, then it's going to set the camera state to opening. And then when the camera state is set to opening, basically this guy is going to do the rest of the work. When this monitor knows when the camera state is opening, then it's going to do its animation and act upon that. And then just like that. And then now for it going down, it's just the complete opposite process. Now this one's going to send the signal to go down, and then the monitor is going to do the rest of the work and set it to down, just like that. So it looks pretty good. And if you are having trouble Again, make sure to carefully look over your scripts to make sure that you are doing it correctly as well, as there can be some mistakes sometimes, so you just want to be careful. But now that we have our trusty scripts right here and here, this is looking really good. Alright guys, so this is looking really good. We got our door buttons as well as door lights, and we got our camera as well as the animation, the camera button, and the camera monitor. This is looking really good. It looks like our security equipment is really going to come in handy here, because a lot of it's actually really functional. This is pretty awesome. So yeah, we are getting closer to finally finishing this FNAF game that we've been creating. And also, one last thing too, I almost forgot, when it comes to this script, make sure that you create a new broadcast. Make sure you create both of these broadcasts right here, and put them in the wait until, and then, there you go, right there. Because we definitely will be needing these broadcasts in the future, so don't forget about these. Sorry about that as well. But now we got all of our buttons completed here, and as well as our camera. This is looking really awesome. So I'm pretty sure that concludes this tutorial here. Looking good. Alright, yeah, this is looking really good. I definitely like how this is all coming together, guys. I'm definitely very excited to keep continuing on with this, because right now this game is looking pretty awesome so far. Of course, there's definitely a lot more to go when it comes to this game, but we're going to make sure that we get there as well. And I would also like to thank you guys for your patience too. I do apologize for making you wait a long time for this third video. I had a lot of stuff going, and as you guys may not know, I am of course working on my third FNAF fan game, Maxwell's Family Diner. That series, it's having its third game, and I'm trying to get that out by December. And also, I'm working on another game simultaneously too, which I'm hoping to get out at least like mid-November. So it's kind of been a lot for me as well. I've been focusing a lot on high school as well, and taking some free time. So I apologize for this kind of wait. But I just hope that it was worth it, and I hope that you guys figured everything out when it came to learning this tutorial. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for your patience. It really means a lot to me. Thank you for sticking with me, for watching my tutorials, for showing me support, and just entrusting me to help teach you guys to make a FNAF game, because that's pretty awesome. I never really thought I would find myself in this kind of position, helping others make FNAF games as well. You know, I didn't think anyone was really that interested, but I appreciate you guys because you guys are interested, and you guys are very kind enough to ask me to help you out. So thank you so much again. I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching this video. I will come out with part 4 soon enough. With part 4, we are going to learn something pretty big, actually. We're going to learn camera screens. And camera screens, basically, when like we pull up that monitor, right? And we're going to be seeing like everything around us when it comes to our pizzeria or workplace, whatever building that we're working in. Just like the FNAF one, where you can see the animatronics on the cameras and whatnot. We're going to get to that as well. And those camera screens will also tie into animatronic AI, which will be the episode after that. So those are going to be two really big episodes, because they involve a lot that's coming to this game. So other than that, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope this helped you guys. I'm going to stop yapping. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.